here's the deal. Unconditional love, forgiveness, communication, peace. I mean, those are the things that as a parent, I'm going to be the bigger person. As a parent, you are the one that is the peacemaker.
I feel like every kid like has that like they're going to forgive you like not all the time, but like they're extra forgiving you in most of the cases I've seen because like they just want to do anything to have a relationship with you.
We are back. Episode 24. Let's go. 24.
Crazy.
I mean, we're almost halfway to a year.
Wow,
that's wild.
Crazy.
That's wild. But this is Talking Back.
Powered by Life 360.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Drew.
So this weekend, this was a pretty cool weekend.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, pretty cool weekend. So that was definitely the highlight of my weekend was Friday night.
Really?
For sure.
Probably
Absolutely
mine too.
loved
Friday
it.
and Saturday night were both good.
Fashion show.
Yes. I stepped out of my comfort zone just a
way
little
out
bit.
of the comfort zone. I mean, not way out, but for, you know.
For me, too, kind of.
Yeah.
For like not doing that stuff in a while.
Proud dad moment. Proud dad moment.
At my
that was super cool.
School, which I do cosmetology school, we had like a fashion show for like fundraising, but I don't know, whenever I agreed to it, I didn't think it was gonna be like a real fashion show. Like I kind of thought it was like, oh, just like for the school, like you probably just I don't know. I didn't realize it was like they brought in models from outside of there. It was like a real fashion show.
It was the real deal fashion show. I mean, I thought I was literally in New York, and we're in like what city? Like Sand Springs?
Yeah, like close on the way there.
Which, speaking of, we get lost going there because this place is like...
Yeah, I had never been there.
Okay, so Wampa, is that the name of the building or is that the name of the
building?
Like the building? Okay, because I couldn't remember if... It was a sit, but I just remember you saying Wampa. So
that's the name of the building, I guess.
Which was throwing us because for some reason I kept thinking
the building
Wampa
was so cool.
City.
Yeah,
so cool. Absolutely. If Wampa, Sand Springs, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you need a party, you need like a wedding, even.
But if you're going there, you might need Life 360.
You just might,
Because that is how we found you. Because you couldn't answer the phone. We knew you were all getting ready and back there. So we're like, okay, check a location. And I bet you we can find it. And sure enough, it's because the directions were not taking us to Wampa. It was crazy. We were
you made it.
We did. I mean, we passed like a building with like the bar. I mean, it was a perfect setup for a haunted house. This building was abandoned. It happened. It had to be like an old prison or like an old, I don't know what it was. I think your mom looked it up, but I can't remember what she said it was. But
where it took you guys?
Yeah. Do you remember? Well, we passed it. I mean, it wasn't too far from there. Do you remember seeing it? I don't remember
seeing that, no.
Okay, maybe we did go the wrong way. Who knows?
But I might have just like not really been...
right, you were focused, all that. But Life 360 came in clutch.
Always does.
Always does. We don't have to make these up. They happen every single week.
Day.
Every single week. It's free. Download it. Life-saving. Such cool emergency, things on. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Download it.
Yeah. The fashion show was really cool, though.
So get back to the fashion show.
So, I was just kind of thinking it was like, I don't know, just way more of a casual thing in my head. I didn't think it was like...
Me too. Yeah. When you first told me about it, I'm thinking we're going to... I didn't know we were going to like a New York event.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was a black tie affair. It was cool.
It was so cool. They had like a cocktail hour before, and like it kind of just felt like a big like party, which was good. Everyone was excited, and like... It
was like a club. I mean, like a cool club. Just a laid back, cool club where you could go and just relax, have a drink, and just be, it was
it was so cool.
Music was loud, but you could still hold conversation.
And like the energy was so good, like everyone was excited. But like I had to dress out of my comfort zone. My hair was like slicked back, so it looked like it was wet, and I had like 100 bobby pins in my hair, which I don't even know how to describe the hairstyle. And then I had like pieces of black hair clipped in my hair.
It was cool.
It was cool though, yeah. And so like they had someone do my hair like that, and then I had like a sweater dress on with some like chains and stuff as like belts and like tights and heels. So very different, but it was cool. It was like neon something with like pretty much we wore like all black, and then we had like neon accessories.
I got to give y'all credit walking down that thing, because I like looked down one time, because we got front row tickets. So we're in the front row. I got up one time and I looked down and those lights blinded me. And I was like, I couldn't even see for about,
really? Well, I mean, it makes it a little better because it makes it a little distracting from looking at everyone.
But that way you don't see all the whole crowd and everything.
Yeah, it makes it a little better. Yeah. I couldn't like find them. I couldn't do any of that, or I would have got distracted.
That crowd was so loud. I mean, they were, like you said, the energy was cool.
There, yeah, because we had like, I think they say he's a drag queen, but he didn't dress in full drag that time, but...
Hey, he
did so good. Yeah,
Is that
he
the one that started the show,
yeah.
opened the show?
He like opened it, so it kind of like got all of us like kind of our nerves eased, because like he goes crazy. Yeah, like in a good way. He does.
He's a professional.
Yeah,
like, he got out there and worked that runway.
Because he had like boots that were like his heels were like this. So I
thought some people were gonna. I mean, I'm looking at your heels. I'm like, please, you don't fall.
That's why I brought my own heels, because I was like, I'm not a professional. I can't walk in those.
That was good though. That was good.
But yeah, I didn't really. But see, that was cool. I feel like I got closer with everyone from like met a lot more people and talked to more people from my school, which was cool. And yeah, it was really fun.
Absolutely.
Because it was really like nerve-wracking for me. It was like scary, but like in a good way.
Did everybody in your class do it?
No, it was only like 4 of us in my actual class.
Really?
Or 5 or 6.
Wow.
No more than 6. I think there was 6
And
of us.
how many's in your class?
There's like 25.
25.
But some or 2 people
Nice
from
job.
our class helped with like all of our makeup and hair and stuff.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they did. It was really cool. But yeah, and so I feel like I would definitely do it again. I feel like it was fun. Like I was really scared,
hope so,
but yeah,
because I'd buy my ticket again.
Yeah, like it was really fun, and it's nothing I would ever thought I would do, but like
we had a blast. So heck yeah, fashion show for fun. I mean,
and we raised a lot of money.
Yeah, and that building, like I said, future wedding venue. I mean,
it was so cool.
It's I say future wedding venue, but I mean. That's all me and your mom were thinking is we can see one of our kids get married here. I mean, it was just
I've never seen that place, but no, it was so cool. Yeah,
it was that kind of place. It was super cool.
Because whenever they first told us all it was at Wampa, we were all like, Wampa? What's that?
I know. You kept saying Wampa, and for some reason I thought it was a city. I was like, never heard of Wampa before, but we'll find it.
That's where we're going now. Yeah,
we'll find it. So, all right, let's get into this.
Yes.
So this week. I kind of hit people with a statement on Facebook about basically if you don't have a relationship with your adult child or your small child, if you don't have a positive good relationship, because you could be in a you could be divorced, you could be trying to co-parent. So in those situations, you do have to work together a little bit. But if you don't have a relationship with your kids, it's not your kid's fault.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot recently, this thing on TikTok where they say, or there's like the quote where it's like the phone works both ways, but then it's like something about like your parents should never say that to the kid though, because in that situation...
No.
It's not ever how it should be. And
no.
I was like, yeah, that's like really good to like see. Cause
your kid never, and I know there's going to be people that are like, no. Yeah, I can, maybe, there's maybe some crazy one-offs with,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying sometimes, some relationships with kids, like, not when they're young. I don't think that's ever really...
I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's always on the parent. Maybe there's one-offs, and that...
Exactly.
Adult children, though, maybe, sometimes something could have happened, and it could be like, there's certain situations where I'm sure a few kids have messed up, and like, I'm sure it is their fault, but most of the time...
And kids are going to mess up, parents.
Yeah. But
adult kids are going to mess up.
In the one-offs, though, like... where sometimes maybe it is like really the kid's fault they don't have a relationship, but
because I saw one comment on Facebook. A Facebook commenter said, well, personalities could clash and it could be a person. And I'm like, first of all, here's the deal. Unconditional love.
Yeah, that's
forgiveness, communication, peace. Those are the things that as a parent, I'm going to be the bigger person in this. And I don't mean bigger by like the kid's not a bigger person or the kid's being a bit. Like but as a parent, you are the one that is the peacemaker, so to speak. And that peace offering always has to be there. Whether you accept it, it's there. It's there for you to. Because that phone is you need me, you call me. I mean, that's you got it tattooed on you.
Yeah.
And I'll forever love that. Be my favorite ever.
No, I love it. But I was watching this video on YouTube, and it was like one of these like questionnaires. They had like kids on one side and parents on the other, and kind of like when they would turn away, they would ask them a question, and then they either stand on yes or no, and then look at each other. But one of them was like, what was this?
Wait, now say it again.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That might have not made sense.
No.
But so it's my
brain was thinking something, and then I was like, oh, crap, we have a conversation. Okay. But I was trying to think ahead into what you were saying, and I missed it.
So this like YouTube person, so he has this like series, I guess. But so there's like yes and no on both sides of the room. There's a spot where you can stand on yes and no. And so they had parents on one side and they had their kids on the other, and they'll like turn them around and ask them a question, and then
ooh, I like that.
They stand on yes or no, and then they both look at each other. But I forget what the question was, but I think it was something like, do you feel like you're, like, the other person, like, fully supports you or fully, like, loves you or something like that? And then the one girl, she was like, my mom has always raised me, like, to be, like, my own self, and that's why I am like this, because, or something like, do you think that you're, like, you depend on that person for their happiness or something? But but the mom was like, no, because I have raised her to be like individual, and like she's like, I want to make her happy and I want to see her succeed, but she doesn't like depend on me for happiness, like in a good way. But then like the daughter was saying kind of like, I think she's bi and like she smokes weed, and like her mom is like okay with all of those things and like loves her and supports that she does her own thing, but it doesn't like, it's not her favorite thing. And so it's kind of like, it's still like she's glad that she has her support, but she's like, it does make me sad though that like, probably not the smoking weed, but I think to her, yes, like in the smoking weed and the being bi, she was like, but I also wish like you could love me for it, you know what I mean? So it is hard because like I don't even know how you work through that, because her mom is like doing all she can, like she's like, she supports her and she's happy for her. But, like, you know, you can't, like, and I was thinking about it, because, like, you can't, like, just force yourself, because, like, that's, like, all, like, the mom's doing the right thing, but it also, like.
Right. But, mom, if she had it, she, I guess in this mom's instance, she would prefer her daughter not to be bi.
Yeah,
and she would prefer her daughter not to smoke weed.
Yeah, so it kind of just, like, hurts her that, like, which I don't even know, but I just, like, that opened the conversation that I was thinking.
Hurt, though, I wonder if, I think that's a big key in, because in all of these scenarios, it comes down to how you can have those conversations.
Yeah, which, like, they had it healthy, but I was like, I just never thought about it like that,
It sounds like it.
Because, like, it's still, like, sad, though, that, like, it is healthy and it is good, but, like, it's still, at the end of the day, she's still hurt that, like, it's not, like, what she wants, though. Like, it's not her ideal of, like, but at the same time, I don't think you can ever, like, please someone 100%, so having their support is like the best they can do. But like I just feel like that opens a conversation. I don't know where I was gonna go with that, but
no, it does.
Like thinking about like
it does though. It opens up some big question marks of how,
like, how do you go about that?
Yeah. How do you handle, I know there's a lot of parents out there that,
they probably feel that way. They're like, I want her to be her own person and I want them to do what they want, but then like
at the same time, I don't like any of those things that they're choosing to do. So what do you do?
So I support them, but I don't
I know.
You're not happy about it. So I don't even know what to like say about that. I remember thinking about that and I was like,
that's deep.
I just never really thought about it that much.
That's deep though.
Yeah.
Because that is it's a weird situation for both. And then for them to turn around and have to answer that question.
I know, yeah. Because she was saying her mom stayed at her house and like, that was how she found out she smoked weed, because she was like just smoking weed because that's what she does at her house. And like she didn't have to not do it because her mom was there. So I mean, that's good. Like so her mom didn't.
She's an adult. She's 18 at least.
She's like definitely like 20 or 30 or something. But so like her mom didn't shame her for it or anything. Like her mom's like, do what you want, but like she doesn't like.
I will not be partaking with you, basically. Is what mom said.
So I mean, like her mom's doing the right thing, but it's also like at the end of the day, she's still hurt because she knows that's not like her ideal of perfect or idea.
I wonder if she feels like I wonder if the daughter feels like she's just letting her mom down because she wishes she was a different daughter for her mom. Maybe.
Yeah, because like even though her mom supports her of doing her own thing, like it's not.
She knows if her mom can make an ideal child, it would not have been the bi smoking weed child is where that mom would have taken that, and that's sad. And I mean,
and like because it's like the mom's not doing anything wrong.
No,
because I mean, like she supported, like she is being like supportive of her.
I commend the mom because there's a lot of parents that you're done. Yeah, you're cut off.
No, like her mom still stayed at her house. Her mom still loves her.
Went to reach out and like you said, that's I love that. I love that. So I feel like in the end, that's
like the right thing. Yeah,
they will figure it out.
I just had never thought about it like that, so I was going to mention it because like,
man, you got me going down a way different road because and those are some of the things that could be some one-offs. It's not, but that they're going to make it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They're going to be fine because the lines of communication and respect.
Yeah, you can tell she really respects her daughter because even though it's not her idea of perfect, she's happy because she feels like she succeeded in raising her daughter to not just do what she wants her to do. She does what she wants and like she's like independent and like that's what she wanted in the end. So I think the mom is also happy that she is independent and does
absolutely
like
she raised a strong, independent child, and that's something to be
proud of. Yeah,
no doubts about it.
Because in other cases, like she could be like hiding that she was bi because her mom.
You know how many parents would feel like a failure, and how many do feel like and they're
like
taking it out. It's like they smoke weed and they're bi, and so I did something wrong, and I jacked up, it's like,
and it's like that is just like
no. That one gets me so much when the parents, and then there's the, that's when you get the ones that try to twist that and turn it on you to make you feel some sort of guilt or shame.
Even like if I don't know, like if your kid is like, say like doing something not right, like maybe like smoking weed all the time or like drinking all the time or like, that still doesn't mean like you failed, like because usually there's a bigger like root to the problem, like there's a reason that they're doing that probably in the first place, and like it doesn't mean you failed. Like they probably just need you to care, honestly. Like,
they could be doing some self-medicating, self-medication, and the drugs that some of the doctors and that's going to be a whole different category that I can go down right now. But we were talking about it the other day. The pills that they want us to take for the depression, the anxiety, and things like that. I'm not saying anything if you are on those whatsoever, but maybe weed is better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for certain people, it really does help them, and
absolutely.
Like, because I don't think, like obviously like smoking, just like weed is like bad for you, obviously for your lungs.
Don't twist my words. Don't take this. Y'all better get the full.
Yeah, but like I feel like maybe like edibles if you need them, or like some people, like for some people probably. There's some people like in that like have super bad pain, it helps them, and like some people it does like reduce anxiety.
Chronic
and
pain
like,
is real, and there's nature gave us a lot of things. This
too much of anything is definitely bad, but
there you go.
And that's where like you just have to.
That's where it's at. So, anyways,
let's get to work. So we got kind of off topic.
That was great, though. It really wasn't. But how do you repair and how do you rebuild that relationship if that relationship is cut off? What are some things that we can do? And I was kind of, searching around.
Really, I feel like it like starts with the parents, because I feel like also a lot of times like kids, they just like have that instinct to like love their parents, and they just like want to be like, which like you guys have the instinct to love us back, but some parents like don't like show that. But like I feel like every kid like has that like they're gonna forgive you, like not all the time, but like they're extra forgiving you in most of the cases I've seen, because like they just want to do anything to have a relationship with you. And then like I feel like whenever they do that, like a lot of times that they're cut off or they're not talking, a lot of times the kids feel like that's what the parents want. They feel like they don't want them to talk to them, you know?
Man, that's sad when you think about it that way. And if you are a kid trying to build a relationship, let me say this too, because this was one of the best things that is heal yourself. Heal yourself first before you go reach out to your mom or your dad. Make sure that you are in a good, and what I mean by heal, make sure you're in a good place. If you need some therapy, if you need to talk, have yourself surrounded with some good people.
Especially because if your parents are the ones hurting you and you go right back to that, you're not
be in
confident
a good strong
mental
mind. That. Bless you.
Thank you.
You got to be in a good, strong mindset.
Yeah, which I don't really know exactly how to go about that. I just feel like parents should really, like, your kids are your kids, and I feel like you should just want to repair that relationship. You don't know what tomorrow holds for anybody. You don't want to have any regrets with anything that could happen. And
no doubt about it. And here's some tough love that I'll throw at you is if there's something that you've done, re-examine it. Be fair. If there's anything that you've done in that relationship to cause some, what's the word? To basically cause that relationship to go bad, in a sense, you have to own that. You have to take responsibility for it. And if that means, and now here is where it's tough, because as a kid, I'm not asking, you can still be the bigger person. The parent should be the bigger person, but maybe they're not. But so if you heal yourself though, and if you do take responsibility and own anything that you've done in that relationship, those two things would be huge.
I just feel like you shouldn't argue with your kids like you're a teenager. I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't just...
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
Because I'm talking from the teen's point of view here.
Yeah, and that's how I'm trying to... Luckily, like, I am like in it. I obviously am very blessed and I have a good relationship with my parents. I feel like I'm not the best at this advice almost. And like
I know. It's new territory for us, but at the same time...
So I'm trying to like think...
you have to set healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Because if you're a young adult or a teen that's almost an adult and you're trying to repair this relationship, you have to have boundaries, because if you need to walk away again, and you just have a toxic parent, make sure that you're able to walk away to somewhere healthy.
Because sometimes you will, like, the hard truth is, like, sometimes you will be better off without them in some situations. It's like, that's hard to say, but you probably know, but don't want to admit if you're in that situation. But, I just feel like, especially if you're a parent, like, the phone, it does work both ways, but not in that scenario. Like, you are the parent. They deserve to feel your love. You need to reach out to them. They should feel wanted by you. They shouldn't have to question their worth because of their parents, or question how much you love them, because... I don't know, just like your kids, they love you. I feel like most of the time you did something wrong to make it go that way. Any situation I've heard from my friends, anyone I know, it's always been the parents' like fault in the long run. Like it's not ever.
It is, and that's the thing. Like I said, there might be that one-off somewhere. But so here's the deal too. And if you're that, older teen, younger adult, and you're trying to repair this relationship. If it's you, which it should be your parent, but if it is you, because like I said, I see this a lot in in a lot of my DMs and my comments is they want to repair that relationship.
So how do you think
you have to be patient? Yeah. So you got to heal yourself.
Heal yourself first,
heal yourself first.
And if you know that they're what is hurting you, and if they're not going to change and they're not going to stop, like maybe, like
that's where the boundaries come in.
Because if they don't get help, like you can't surround yourself with someone that's constantly hurting you. Like that's not good for you, no matter who it is. So heal yourself, be patient. Yeah, maybe like take it slow. Like if they're needing to fix themselves and they say they have like, maybe just like slowly try to like hang out with them, maybe go eat or like just go somewhere and like talk
because
and like
communicate,
evaluate.
it always comes back to communication.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, but like a long
where
talk.
You were going with the talk. That's what was my it always
is
comes
definitely
back.
Needed. And then I feel like, what do you like?
I mean, and then there's.
You see how
and then if you have done those things, if you've taken the time to heal yourself, taken the time to own what you've done in the relationship, and you've set healthy boundaries, and you have been patient, and you have done everything in the best of your communicating, sometimes it's best, as bad as it sounds, to walk away. Yeah, because just know that
you did what you can. You're doing your part.
In that situation, you've done
a lot of time. Like it's not your fault, and you shouldn't have to be the one to reach out. You shouldn't have to be the one to, like as a kid, you shouldn't have to be the one repairing the relationship. And if anyone is, I'm sorry, because that's just not how it should be at all.
That's not how it should be. That is not how it should be. So, last question.
Okay.
And we'll wrap it up. But gaslighting and toxic parent, where do we set the boundaries on that?
Yeah, because whenever he posted that thing on Facebook about how it's okay to say no to your parents, everyone freaked out about that. But it's like,
and there wasn't, but you could say, and people were responding to them in very,
Yeah, because I don't know exactly like how to answer that as like a question. I just, since doing this podcast and talking about like and seeing like really like, because the other day someone asked me like, are you gonna spank your kids? And I don't know, like ever since doing this podcast and ever since like just seeing like how my parents raised me and like seeing how they talk about it and seeing, because I've seen how a lot of people have been raised. I feel like you get a glimpse of that just like growing up, and like I see a huge difference in my relationship with my parents than a lot of people I know. Not all of them, but like I just feel like so much, like I like thinking about this and looking into it because it's just so crazy how if you just parent differently, how much more peaceful your life would be. Because I'm very blessed to have like a very peaceful family life. And
it's insane.
Like it's just like I see it like comes down simply to just like how they parent me and how our relationships are. Like that we don't yell, like all that stuff is, we don't yell, we don't slam the doors, we don't like do the silent treatment, we don't.
No.
Like we just communicate healthily, and that goes like that. We'll fix like all like the gaslighting, the toxic, the yelling, the screaming, the horrible like fights that kids and parents get into. If you just simply like have just like nice like relationship and
I think that's you're touching on a great point on this subject, because if you are the the teen or the young adult in the situation, you cannot. To even try to mend the gaslighting toxic parent relationship, you can't engage in the arguments.
Yeah, because you don't deserve that either, and I feel like it's just goes nowhere. Like, and a lot of people that gaslight and are toxic like that, that's just who they are. Which, it's just like whenever I think about it, it just makes me so like I started like can't even wrap my brain around it. But
I know
just like how much better like every single person's like home life and like trauma that they have and all this could just be so much better if people would just like be nice to their kids and have healthy communication and healthy like punishments, all of it. Because the way even like you punish your kids, the way you talk to them, whether if you yelled at them, because even people will post TikToks about how, because I'll just like look into it about how maybe when their parents yelled at them, then they'd have to, like, not let their parents hear them cry, and, like, they would just have to just sit there, kind of, and now that affects their relationships to this day. When people, like, raise their voice or yell at them, then they don't talk about what's wrong, they don't open up. All these little things that, like, just happen in your childhood, they all just form into who you are as a person, and so it's just so crazy.
It is, and this is also what you're going into is the kids of toxic and gaslighting parents. You have to practice self-care.
Because it just sucks. You have what to, you see is what you learn. And so it's not fair to you that you grow up hearing all this and that's what you think a relationship should be like. That's what...
It's not. And I see it so much in my Facebook comments that, I see it. I see the result.
I feel like are lucky enough to meet people who show them how relationships should be, but some people aren't, and it's not their fault. I
can see the comments now. I was raised that, by the toxic gaslighting. I turned out just fine.
But it's no.
It's like, you didn't. I'm reading your text. I'm seeing your profiles. I know that you're not okay. I know you want me to think it so much, but they're and here's the deal. You're
might
probably
be okay.
And yes.
Yeah, like the mid, but wouldn't you want to be better? Yeah.
They're so much better. I'm not saying that you're not okay in a degrading way by any means whatsoever, but what I'm telling you is they're so much better of an okay to be.
Yeah, and
so much better.
Yeah, I see like a lot of TikToks and it makes me just like evaluate this stuff. But like another one was like this little girl, she was just like, she's always playing in her living room, and it was just like talking about how when she was younger, like that was like not how it was. Like she would just want to go to her room all the time, and how like kind of just if your kid wants to hang out in the living room, like you've done something right, because a lot of kids will just want to go.
And that's that we've talked about it on this podcast before. Is when you guys did get in trouble, that was one of the things I would look forward to us hanging out and watching movies and stuff. That's not the only time we did, but I liked those times that we could, because we bonded even deeper when you did make mistakes and things like that.
And like talk through it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I'm not good at like answering the exact question, but it's just like crazy to even talk about how like just how so much of this, I just hope at least, I feel like a lot of kids in my generation at least do, not all of them, but I feel like it's been like really eye-opening, like all of it, like having TikTok and all that. I feel like a lot more people are noticing that literally like every step of how you get parented like plays into how you are as a person, and all of that, and how it's so important. Like
parents, y'all are, I mean, you're the key to you granted, it doesn't mean if you're, you can still, if you're a bad parent, you can have good kids. If you're a good parent, you can still have bad kids. I mean, but you, in the grand scheme of things, you have a huge, huge say in how that kid is going. And what I mean by say is that you're molding that kid. I mean, they're like
because how you parent them plays a lot into their mental health when they're older.
And that
a lot,
right there. So hopefully that helps somebody today.
Hopefully that makes sense. But we just all
good stuff. And if there is some broken relationships out there, try some of those steps. And be prepared. Here's the deal. Be prepared they might not work.
That's why you have to heal yourself first too, because you have to know you're going to be okay if that's how it turns out, which I am so sorry if anyone has to go through that, because that sucks. That's not how it should be.
If you're the freaking parent out there that's holding the kid back, step up, do the right thing, get yourself some help so you can be the parent friend that your kid needed, that they need, and make that change in your life.
Yeah, we get one life, so
one life. I mean, don't be too prideful. Don't be too, try to make it work. Reach out. Yep. On that note, we out. Do better, everybody. See y'all next time.